Hello everyone, we're here at Beaver Stadium following Penn State's victory over Bowling Green by a 34-27 final score. I'm Joel Haas, joined by Lyle Alenstein of the Daily Collegian. Lyle, what were your biggest takeaways from this matchup?
Slow start for Penn State. On the defensive side of the ball, that is. I mean, Bowling Green scored on the opening possession. I think that was the first time, in 28 games that the Nittany Lions have given up an opening possession score. So, not great, obviously. I think the offense in the first half was trying to keep up with Bowling Green. Obviously, they were scoring matching scores, but obviously they didn't get a lead until the third quarter. I think that they really picked it up in the second half. On the defensive side of the ball, Tom Allen gave a speech during halftime. Kobe King, Devontae Thomas, some of these leaders, the captains, really were vocal presences, and I think you saw that really show in the second half resurgence for the defense.
Yeah, it was a complete turnaround from what we saw last week against West Virginia, where Penn State's defense was pretty dominant, surrendering only 12 points to the Mountaineers. This year they give up, or this week they give up 27 points to Bowling Green, which obviously people weren't expecting. I mean, you look at the betting spread, I think Penn State was like 33-point favorites heading into this matchup, so obviously it was a lot closer than anyone really thought it was going to be. Bowling Green's offense, I honestly thought was pretty impressive today. Connor Bazelak looked good, fell apart a little bit at the end with a pair of interceptions by Tony Rojas and Zachy Wheatley, but for most of the game, Bazelak looked really on top of things and made some nice throws. Harold Fannin, one of the best tight ends in the country, had a great game for Bowling Green. So I thought Bowling Green's offense honestly impressed me with how efficient they were, but obviously if you're Penn State, that's a little bit worrying how easily the Falcons were able to move the ball down the field. But let's switch over to the other side of the ball. Penn State's offense, what do you see from them?
Obviously, I think explosive plays continue today. I don't really think it was talked about enough because of what the defense looked like to start. But you had Kaytron Allen over 100 yards on the ground, Nick Singleton over 100 yards on the ground. Then Tyler Warren, I think he had 141 yards, which is the Penn State single game record for tight ends. So obviously that's a big thing to take away. Obviously, the receivers, Julian Fleming, first career reception for Penn State on a screen pass that went for like 2 yards maybe. But honestly, the wide receivers didn't really get involved today. Obviously, you had Tyler Warren having a lot of catches, and then Harrison Wallace had a few. Omari Evans, he had that big 29-yard touchdown in the first half. But I just think spreading the ball around is a concern right now. Obviously, if you're able to win plays, focusing on one guy and attack the defense, like so be it. At the end of the day, you're trying to win a football game, But once you face these good defenses that can key in and focus on one guy so they can adapt to the game plan, I think that's something they got to draw up. And, they got a bye week so they can figure out some things on offense, on defense as well. But just something to consider.
Yeah, against West Virginia, it was Harrison Wallace who led the way with 5 catches for 120 yards. This week, it was Tyler Warren who led the way with 141 yards, but it felt like outside of Warren, there wasn't really that consistent presence. Wallace didn't really get involved today. Fleming had the one catch, like you mentioned, the 3-yard screen, so not really too much there. Omari Evans was pretty quiet. He almost had a big 45-yard touchdown catch, but that was called back just due to an offensive pass interference call.
Couldn't get away with it this time.
Yeah, this time he didn't get away with it. Last week he did. So again, if you're Penn State, you're kind of looking. It was a great game, especially from Tyler Warren, but you're looking at some of the other guys who didn't really get involved as much, like William Clifford, Caden Saunders, guys who you were kind of expecting to step up. And if you're Penn State, you're really looking for who's wide receiver 2, who's wide receiver 3, who else is going to step up in that room. Even Harrison Wallace, after recording no catches today, you kind of wonder where he stands in the pecking order after he had such a great game week 1 against West Virginia. But I do want to talk about the run game a little bit because both Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen surpassed 100 yards today. So it was a big game on the ground. They were averaging, I think Singleton had like 10 yards per carry. Kaytron was around like that 7 mark. Finding the end zone obviously a couple times as well. So a big game on the ground for Penn State.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.